I'm Paulina Leiser, producer of Focus Today. Thank you for watching this video, and make sure to check our other videos at theDove.us.
Welcome back, and what a delight to have with us, as always, our good friend, Executive Director of Foundations for Recovery, Mr. Doug Gould. And he's here today to make an announcement, jump up and down, dance on the table, and give us some good advice. How you doing, buddy?
That was in the past when I danced before. We won't go there.
That's a word picture. Okay,
exactly. We just lost a lot of viewers on that one.
Yeah, that's all right.
Really got a visual.
You got an announcement.
Yeah, we're ready to make a move. Foundation for Recovery. We're excited. We found a new location. God has blessed us. We're going to take a big leap of faith. We're going from 1,200 square feet to 3,300.
Wow.
We've tripled in size. This will give us seven potential offices where we can do peer mentoring.
Yeah.
The reason we're taking that step of faith is the fact that we are very close on getting approved by the Oregon Health Authority as to begin billable insurance for services rendered. But we've had a great year. Perry, I got to tell you something. We've had an amazing year, how God has blessed us with just the wonderful support through you folks at the Dove and through our supporters at the foundation.
Well, I got to tell you, this organization and what they're doing for people who have any kind of an addiction, I mean any kind, you're going to be teamed up with somebody who's been there, done that, and has relied upon God in their recovery and brought them through, and they turn around and put you into a mentoringship with that and walk you through the process. Their success rate is through the roof.
Amazing, isn't it?
It really is.
We just did our 2016 numbers. We had 204 new clients come through the door, but only 128 committed to the 12-week program. But here's the cool thing. If you commit to the program and work with your coach, our success rate for 2016 was 78%. Sobriety.
That is unreal.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Because you're building that relationship up with that person that's been there.
Yeah.
And we don't give up. You know, we may have a little bit of setbacks, but we have longevity, we have sustainability, and that's what we want to try to help with the clients.
And you understand fallbacks.
Absolutely.
You know, you get it, and you know what it is, and you walk them through, and you bring them. You know, and I heard the testimonies the evening of your wonderful dinner, and I have to tell you, I was stunned.
Amazing, wasn't it?
Stunned by some of the testimonies that I heard and what's going on. God has blessed you and the organization, and I'm so happy. So when do you move?
Well, it looks like what we're going to do is we're going to take the big step of faith in January. We have to do some construction over there. We're going to be at the corner of 6th and Ivy, and excited to be close to our friends at the Compass House, with the federal court buildings right there.
I was going to say
the public defender's office right there as well, and you know, we're real close to the Jackson County Mental Health and so forth. And so we're excited about taking this big step. We're going to have a big conference room and individual classrooms, be able to continue our programs.
Well, I got to tell you, he showed me the floor plan. I just eat this stuff up. Yeah, I really like it. You know. So this is really good for you.
Isn't that cool?
I'll just show it to you real quick. You can't see it. Those listening on the radio, just imagine. But anyway,
exactly. It's exciting.
I want to ask you a couple things before we get too far off here. This is an incredible time of the year where people have a tendency to relapse and fall back, and there's a lot of reasons for it. Depression, self-esteem, lack of family, lack of support. What advice do you have for us?
Well, it's a great question, and it's something that we deal with around the holidays, and what we try to do with our participants is we do kind of like a checklist. First of all, remind yourself how good it feels to be clean and sober.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Second thing that we ought to do is don't have pre-expectations on how things are going to happen during the holidays.
Boy, would you just preach that message loud and clear? Just broadcast it. I'll get you a megaphone. Just yell it as loud as you can.
Pre-expectations, when they don't meet reality, can develop resentments. And for us, as our program teaches, resentment is our number one offender. We don't like that feeling, and so therefore we'll go back to the coping skill of that chemical dependency to cover up those feelings. And so we try to teach our clients to remember something. Don't have pre-expectations. Just take one day at a time with family and friends. Another thing we try to inform our clients is make sure you go to meetings. Even if you're traveling. I was traveling one time, and I had probably a little over a year sobriety. I was caught in a delay in Portland. And I mean, it was a long delay. And all of a sudden I heard an announcement over the PA, Friends of Bill W. were meeting in room such and such. You know, there was over 50 people in that room.
Really?
That's the importance of, you got to be around people that support sobriety. So meetings are very important, and watch out for old friends and old environment, because the holidays will bring it out.
Yeah, and check yourself on being alone. That's when all the temptations flare up. You know,
absolutely. Yeah. And we say be of service. You know,
go somewhere.
Absolutely,
give yourself to something.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot to do.
All right, so you're heading towards some kind of a certification here. What does that mean?
Well, it's funny. We are state certified at the foundation for training purposes. We've trained peer specialists for Addiction Recovery Center, On Track, Jackson County Mental Health, Klamath Falls Behavioral Health. We're actually a facilitator to train for peer mentoring. We are not state certified in reference to meeting the requirements for us to bill for insurance purposes.
And that's what's coming.
And that's what's coming. And that's exciting, because it's been just the wonderful support that, again, through the Dove here and the viewers supporting you folks, giving us an opportunity to come on here and a program to talk about our programs. And then our supporters seeing that, saying, yeah, we want to be a part of that. You know, we've had, and I got to give a shout out to the Mabry Foundation. First of all, we've got some wonderful churches. I mean, we've got great churches, but some churches have really stepped up to give us some small grants for our purposes. Mabry Foundation gave a wonderful grant for us to have a computer room. So we can do educational purposes. So we have a separate, on this map, we have our own Mabry Foundation computer room, just to say thank you to the Mabry Foundation to see the important needs of education. So we're excited about what's happening in reference to making that step. And 2017, Perry, I got to tell you something. When you were speaking at our event, you know, you spoke on Isaiah 61, and that just broke my heart. I absolutely just said, because that's what the foundation is all about. We're here to heal the brokenhearted. And one of the things that we are moving for, probably toward this summer, we're going to open up 2 sober housing for men and women.
And what is that?
For clean and sober living, so people in recovery can have a clean environment and sober living environment. For people coming out of treatment and so forth.
I don't know that those who don't deal with addiction can't really appreciate what's going on. Those who have been involved, or themselves or family members, this is an incredible grip on somebody's life.
Yeah, it is.
And there is hope. There is hope. There is an organization here in Southern Oregon. When you went to the peer mentoring philosophy and strategy, that is the key to the success.
Absolutely, and that's why everybody is now offering peer services. Yeah, we were the first ones to bring it in Southern Oregon.
All right, and I think that's the other thing too, that again, I always say, whatever God saves you from brings you through. He turns you around, makes you a minister too.
Sure.
Your mentors are that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, all of them have a background in addiction, and what's really cool is the fact that when that client comes in, you know, first of all, just coming through the door is kudos. Big step. You know, and we welcome them with a handshake and a hug and a cup of coffee and say, you know, let's talk. And what's really comforting for that individual and for their families is because they're talking to somebody that's been there, you know, that understands what it feels to put a needle in their arm or a bottle to their lips. So they understand that, and that's comforting to them. And so you build that relationship, you build that rapport, you set some goals, you work on your program, and we've got a lot of clients, Perry, that, you know, go through the 12 weeks and they continue to want to meet with us, which is fine.
Yeah.
You know. So.
You also offer support to parents, families, relatives.
Yeah.
You have a support group. One of your couples that spoke got up and made the announcement that they were the poster child for
Bill and Sheila
for empowerment, you know.
Yeah, they're great. We're starting we started back a little over a year and a half ago. We started a parent family member support group, and it's grown ever since. And so our next 8-week program starts on Monday, January 9th from 7 to 8:15. You go through the 8 weeks, and we talk about enabling, we talk about how to effectively communicate, how to set healthy boundaries, how to say no. And once you go through the 8 weeks, then you join the rest of the parents that have gone through the program. which is like over 20 some people,
Yeah.
parents, and we meet from 6 to 7 just to have that fellowship time and that support system. So that's on Monday nights, and that starts January 9th.
I think so many family members get trapped in, what do I do to properly support, and how do I set the boundaries? I mean, look, you're too close to do it.
Correct.
And so you need to support on how to draw those lines.
And exactly, Perry, and
Yeah.
they feel that guilt because they feel like, I can't turn, is that the Christian thing to do, to turn my back away from my loved one? Well, look at the prodigal son. You know, the father didn't run after him and said, well, let's try this and this. The father let him go and released him to the Lord. And here's the cool thing. When that son realized, the Bible says he came to his senses. Now, where did he come to his senses? He came to his senses in a pig pen.
Right, right.
He let the consequences play out, and that's what we try to teach in our parent support group. Addiction is progressive. Let the addiction play out. Don't save them from the consequences. Be there when the consequences come up, and then offer sobriety, offer hope.
The person who comes to their senses, that's the one that walks through the door. Because a lot of times, I've always said two things that bring you to your door, inspiration or desperation. You know, mostly probably desperation, right?
Well, mine was desperation, laying on a hospital bed with a blood pressure 280 over 220, hitting me with paddles twice because I drank myself into almost an alcoholic coma. I mean, that was desperation. And walking out of that Rogue Valley Hospital, and the first call I made was to my buddy Steve, who started the foundation. Right. You know, and then I took over from him after he went home to be with the Lord. And so it's that window of opportunity that we look for. And and I try to teach parents this and family members, when you see that window of opportunity, grab it.
Okay, that's where I want to talk just for a few moments.
Sure.
Because I've given your number out to a lot of people.
Sure.
I say, call.
Sure.
Don't call me. Call me.
Yeah, call Doug.
Okay. Yeah. Well, anyway, and I realized, wait a minute, time out here. They may be calling you to go after a relative. That's not how it works. They probably should call you. You need to sit down with them.
Correct.
And prepare them.
Correct.
For the next step, because it's not a matter of you going and grabbing somebody, because that's not going to work.
Yeah. No, that's usually the education that we have. We bring the parents in, get some little bit of history regarding their loved one. And then we go from there, you know. And if it's something where, you know, I rarely do interventions, because usually the family members don't agree. Yeah. And you got to be in agreement. Oh. You know, you have to be in agreement. So. Yeah. And that's why we started the parent support group. And that's why my good friends Scott and Michelle Ashpole, through their church, started PAL, which is on Tuesday nights, Parents of Addicted Loved Ones, because the importance of, it's a nationwide epidemic regarding addiction. And so, and I believe, and there's no offenses to the churches, we've got great churches, but I believe sometimes, and I've been in ministry for 30 years, because addiction is no respecter of persons. It'll affect anyone. You know, that's try to teach churches about addiction.
Well, I was just going to say, pastors, youth group people, you may want to meet with Doug and just look for the signs, learn how to look for the signs, because that's where I wanted to go. I don't think we realize how many people are under the cover addicted. Sure. And I don't know what we've done with ourselves by legalizing marijuana. I mean, we just put the gun to the head. Sure. So you see it. Yeah. I'm still surprised by who would end up in your office and why. And these are people of quite...
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, they've got great positions in the community.
Yep. I do private counseling, and I work with some very well prominent individuals here in the community addicted to pills. It's very common, and what I'm trying to do, and I like to voice this to pastors, ministerial leaders. Please invite me to come to your church. I do workshops. I'm an addiction survivor. Don't give me the mic, because I'm a preacher. Unless you want to give me the mic, I'll take the mic.
No, I've seen you preach. You're fun to watch.
Yeah. I'll make you laugh and make you cry at the same time, and I promise I won't do any dancing. But anyway, it's just that it's education. You'll be surprised. I mean, I had a grandma that, in her 60s addicted to pills. It affects so many walks of life.
So it's prescription medication is now the new big addiction. I say new, but I mean, it's a big addiction.
No, it's an opiate, and it can be, again, it gets back to our educational purposes and so forth. And so that's, we want to educate. Correct.
All right. Well, how do they get a hold of you?
541-245-HOPE. 541-245-4673.
What's going on here?
We brought you a little something. Okay, now,
oh no,
we were watching the program. I always turn you on every morning when I go into the office.
You're a smart guy.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing, Perry. Every time I hear the word addiction, my head turns. And we hear that you have an addiction, and so the foundation would like to enable you. Okay, this is perfect enabling. We wanted to say thank you for speaking at our event. So you go ahead and open that. I'm horrible at decorating. Go ahead and open it. Come on now.
Okay, I do have an addiction.
You do have an addiction. You have an addiction to milkshakes.
I do.
So we got you a Hamilton Beach milkshake maker there.
Look at that.
And we got 4 glasses for you, so you have to share. Whether you take that home or you leave it here at the office, we just wanted to say thank you.
Oh.
You've been great for the foundation, and so this is perfect enabling. This is what enabling means.
I do have an addiction. I love milkshakes. I don't know what it is about milkshakes, but I like them. I've learned how to order them without the whipped cream on top, But thank you.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Appreciate
This is wonderful. What can we do? What do you need to move? Do you need movers? You need trailers? You need furniture? What do you need?
Well, we're going to need all of that. So we're going to post it on our Facebook and our webpage. We're going to need people to say. Again, I always say this, Perry. Don't take away from your church. Don't take away from other charities. But if you have a little bit extra to give, bump up your gift. We're excited about this move, and we'll be posting what we need.
Well, I just knew in my heart the Lord was going to do this for you.
I'm telling you. Yeah, what you shared on December 2nd, Isaiah 61, we are taking the message to the brokenhearted. Yeah, beauty for ashes, man. I'm telling you, that was a beautiful scripture that you gave over us, and what a wonderful night. I mean, you look at one of our guest speakers, Mikey.
I can't believe this guy put a gun to his head and shot himself and survived.
Yeah, and he's got 9 months clean and sober. He's never had 9 months in his life. He's gone through our training, and so. Just hear about us. We've got a lot of events coming up. So
I want to encourage you to check it out. 254-HOPE 4673. Be aware of the fact that if you are dealing with, if you yourself are dealing with an addiction, and the Lord's yelling at you right now through this program, you can privately call Doug and go on and talk to him. Yeah. If you are a relative to somebody that is addicted, and I think that's the toughest role. It
is. It's tough.
I'd rather have root canals than,
It breaks my heart.
So I would say that before you make the phone call to Doug and say, go rescue my son, daughter, whatever, you may want to go sit down and go through the we call it the PAL or the...
Well, it's Parent Support Group. It's our Learn to Hope Against Addiction is on Monday nights.
What are you... Polina's coming in. What are we doing here, Polina?
You got something?
Are you taking this?
We're taking...
Merry Christmas.
Okay, well, that's great. Well.
Have a good one.
Okay, there you go.
Anything we can do for you.
Well, I did bring 4 glasses, so...
Now, wait a minute. Do you have addiction recovery for thieves?
Yes, we do. Absolutely. That's part of that.
Isn't that an addiction?
Absolutely.
Stealing's an addiction? Well, there went my milkshake milker. The only thing left is my card. No. Thank you very much. And I just want to share our viewers and listeners. I can't say enough about what Doug does.
Thanks,
and
Perry.
The services that you guys provide. I know that this move is strategic. Think about where you're going.
Yeah, I know. It's exciting.
And how can we pray for this court or this recognition, this certification?
Well, here's the cool thing. It's so funny. The Lord is opening doors, and people are actually coming to us. We have favor. Just give us favor, it's coming. It's exciting.
Okay,
just keep praying for us.
You're going to get it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, pray for them. Let me encourage you. I know you support your church and a lot of other ministries, but if the Lord's leading you to send them a few dollars, do it, because I tell you what, just moves are not easy. They're hard on staff, they're hard on equipment, they're hard on leaders. Believe me. And but the future is bright, and God is using Foundations for Recovery.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. Blessings on you, friend.
Blessings.
I hope I get some milkshake from the milkshake.
Yeah, you'll get it. I hope so.
All right, we'll see you next time on Focus Day.